Hi, this is a message to leaders. It's about values and future of humankind and how to push our civilization to the next level. I am a human. I come from the planet Earth as well as all of you. This is our home. This is something we have all in common. I love nature, I love animals, and I love people. Yes, we people are diverse, but isn't this diversity beautiful? Each of us, individuals and nations, have different history and background, but the past doesn't have to define us. Past is already gone, and we have to learn how to integrate it and move on. What defines us are our actions, which we do now or we are about to do in future. In this message, I would like to talk about values and our future. I would like to also mention some imperfection, which I believe we should change. So if you like this message, please share it, comment on it, and talk about it. First of all, I would like to talk shortly about nationalism. For some reason, some people think their nation has been chosen or is better than the others. But this is only a story which has been made up to justify the greed and selfish ambitions. If you look at it from a global context, nationalism is totally a ridiculous way how to think about society. We all have one thing in common, and it's our planet. The difference is that not everyone has the same starting positions. On the other hand, this drives people to develop themselves and their surrounding and go further. The systems on our planet constantly affect us. What happens on one side, sooner or later affects the other side. So we cannot just close ourselves from the problems which seems far away. I believe that the challenges for people in this world are finding cooperation and mastering communication regardless the differences. If we talk about communication, we have to learn not only what to say, but also how to say it and how to approach people or groups we are talking to, because they can come from totally different environment and they can have a different state of consciousness. If we talk about cooperation, it is something we should learn from our childhood. Instead of selecting and celebrating individuals, we should find a balance in the group and embrace people's uniqueness. Everyone is talented, and if you combine these talents together, the group can achieve anything. And in future, every one of them will understand that the cooperation is the key to the common success. I would love to see more cooperative games than competitive. Why should we have one winner and define losers if we can be all winners together? What we can see now happening in Ukraine is a sad story of past nationalism and greed. What we can see, on the other hand, in the same time, is a huge amount of solidarity happening across the world. And I think this is amazing. I think this is a clear message to the old world that we don't want to be manipulated and we want to cooperate and help instead. Because we have already showed that we stand together, we have already won. This is a good hope and a bright energy. Let's embrace it. So what do we all have in common? As I've already said, it's our planet. And in how livable conditions are we going to pass it to the next generations? It's all up to us. Plants and animals, they are constantly striving to survive and reproduce. They act on behalf of their instincts, and the Mother Nature balances it. Compared to animals, we have much bigger impact to the environment. So we have to use our brain to survive as a civilization. But are we actually using it? Are we actually trying to survive? Aren't we just making us blind and turning away from the problems trying not to see it? The problems and challenges are here, and we have to face them to avoid the crisis in the future. I think we have to start protecting our environment much more, because by that we are actually protecting ourselves. The nature will find its way, but we don't have to be here. The green change has so much potential for new job opportunities, for new businesses, and for new economy. We have to learn how to adapt to the change. We have to learn how to be more flexible, because the change will come, and we should act now while we still have some time, so the step is not that drastic. Can we do this? My father told me that the energy of a humankind is incredible, and I must agree. Just look what we have already achieved in materialistic world. We can build, we can create. We sent men to universe and landed on moon already more than 50 years ago. We made transistors of computers chips so thin that the thickness is only a few atoms. In future, I'm sure we will see planes, cars and ships powered with hydrogen or ecological batteries. From the design point of view, we have to look on the whole life cycle of the product, not only on the production, but also what happens with the product when the life cycle is over. I believe we can do this, but can we change ourselves? Can we change our mindset? Can we move our civilization to the next level? Can we overcome our ego and selfish ambitions? Can we look at the things from a higher perspective? I believe we have to move from competition to cooperation to have it subconsciously in the first place in our mind. This change of mindset could have a great consequences to our system. We could call it conscious revolution. Each of you think about it. Think of what small steps can you adopt in your life. Our mission nowadays is to find a common values and language. This has to be connected to the environment and its processes. We also have to invest in poor countries, bring their education and help them to become sustainable so they don't have to leave their homes because of the climate change. You see, everything is connected, and every step we do for the others, we do for ourselves as well. We have to adapt new technologies to become more sustainable, and we also have to adapt a little bit our lifestyle. I believe that the consume must go away. Instead of that, let's create communities, friendship, and let's talk about it. The last thing I would like to talk about is freedom. Freedom doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Freedom is a responsibility you have been given. You are responsible for your actions, and you should know the consequences of your actions. Freedom ends where your actions affect the others, and it can be also on the other side of the world. This is a message to leaders, both business and nations. You have the power to move the civilization to the next level. So let's start talking about it and lead by example. The greatest leaders these days will be the ones who will not be afraid of differences, who will strive for knowledge and education, and who will be able to give a space and trust to the others. So what do I want to see in the future? I would love to see more wilderness for animals and less cruelty on them. I would like to see sustainability to be part of every business, no greenwashing. I would love to see more cooperation than competition. I would love to see people and nations with integrated history. I would love to see united people. Because look around, how beautiful the world and the nature is. Let's be part of it. So if you like this message, please share it, comment on it, and let's talk about it. Have a good day.